Hey folks, in the previous video, we started exploring the V3 pool contract. Let's continue with that and explore the next set of contracts, that is the deployer contract. We will come back to the pool contract very soon. Now, we have seen that in the previous video that the Uniswap V3 pool deployer is the one that actually deploys the pool. So let's quickly go and explore that. Even though here we are calling the interface, the Uniswap v3 pool deployer.sol is actually going to implement the interface. So you can see that it's implementing the interface Uniswap v3 pool deployer. And as I told you that it is important to see the parameters that are being sent to this particular pool deployer, right? Now the pool deployer uses these parameters to actually create a new pool. Let's see how it does that. So it takes the factory contract, right? The factory contract is the parent contract of everything. Like the mothership, right? So which is the factory contract that you're going to use to deploy the pool? What is the token 0 and what is going to be the token 1 addresses? What is the fee for this particular pool that you have selected? And if there is a tick spacing. Now once these parameters are there, then you can see that there is a deploy function that is being used to deploy this new pool. Now you can see that over here it is creating the parameters that are required to be for this particular pool to be deployed, and the pool itself gets its address by the new Uniswap v3 pool creation, right? So here you're creating a new Uniswap v3 pool, you're providing some salt, that is some extra added material in cryptography to ensure that there is more security in what you're creating and that hackers are not able to break this easily, and then it encodes your token 0, token 1 and the fee, right? So this is the new Uniswap v3 pool that is being created. You can see that the new Uniswap v3 pool is actually the pool contract that we have seen, right? So it essentially deploys a new contract. It gives us the address of this new Uniswap v3 pool contract that becomes our. Now, in the actual lesson, we will also be exploring some more functionalities of the Uniswap v3 pool contract. So let's head back to our contract that has been deployed. We have the Uniswap v3 pool, which is now deployed using the constructor, right? So the constructor of this is deployed. You have all the parameters here that has been sent to it, and then you are basically, assigning all the different things that are required related to tick spacing, what and all are the parameters that are coming in, the factory token 0, token 1, fees, and the tick spacing, right? Now, there are some check functions that you can see which are not like that significant, so you don't have to worry about these. These are more like requires that are checking certain things related to the concentrated liquidity and other concepts. So if you are looking to dive deeper into what are these different concepts, I definitely suggest going through the Uniswap docs. So Uniswap has amazing docs which talks about different things, the way it is architected, the way you should actually go to the v3 concepts page and then see what are the new concepts that are there in v3, how things work, etc., right? Active liquidity and things like that, these terminologies will help you relate to understand what is written in the code. And then there is the pool's balance of token 0. So you have balance 0, similarly you have balance 1. Remember that for every pool, there is a v3 pool contract that is being deployed, as you just saw, right? So every token pair for which a pool is created, whenever a new pool is created, a v3 pool contract is deployed. So therefore, the balance of both of these tokens that are part of that pair will be available in the pool contract. So you can get that from here. And then some of these are just like snapshots, so basically reading some data or related ticks, so I'm not going too much into it. There's the observe, which observes the state of the pool, like what is happening right now, what is observation, how much liquidity is there, and things like that, right? Now, one of the things is like you are initializing one of the actions is to actually initialize the pool. So you are going to initialize this by building the slot 0, which has the price, the tick, the observation index, the protocol fee, and whether this pool is unlocked, right? Let's scroll down and okay, so the update position is whenever the state of this liquidity pool is updated, right? So you need to ensure that at that time this position is being updated, right? Suppose you need the owner, you want to update the lower and the upper tick, right? Due to which you might want to change the price range in which you're providing liquidity. So you want to update your positions, for which we'll use this update position function, right? There's a bunch of mathematics happening inside. Now, one of the important actions associated with this particular contract is mint, right? So the mint function is the one where we are actually creating the LP, right? So you can see that here you have the Uniswap v3 mint callback, which calls the Uniswap v3 mint callback, and you get this minted LP, right? The new LP for you is minted. So remember that creating liquidity is about, or creating LP tokens for a particular user happens when a user provides liquidity. So you say that I'm going to provide X amount for token 0, that you can see is like amount 0, and I'm going to provide Y amount for token 1 and provide me with liquidity pool tokens for in exchange for me providing this liquidity, right? So that's what is happening here. Now you can see that there is also the collect function, which we saw about, where the liquidity itself, you are collecting the positions that are being owned, right? So you say that, okay, this is the position of tokens owned for 0. You might have broken your liquidity and now your token 0 and token 1, both the tokens that you provided as part of liquidity, are available for you to collect, and you can collect that, and this will read your position and give you back the tokens. Similarly, you have the burn function where you can burn the liquidity itself, right? So you can see that there is some subtraction, some mathematics that is happening here in the burn. And then the most important function, right, that we all use DEX for, swapping. So the swap function asks you, what do you want to swap, right? Who is the recipient of the swap, and what is the, so this particular swap is only going to be applicable to swap tokens in this particular liquidity pool, right? That is, for example, if this contract is for USDC and DAI, then the swap for USDC and DAI will come to this particular contract or this particular function present in a particular deployed contract. So you can see that there is swapping happening here, where there are some state changes. You're changing the state of the swap. There is a bunch of stuff happening related to tick prices and all of that. Once the swap is completed, you can see that the main thing is like over here, Uniswap v3 callback, right? You are basically calling the swap here, and then once it is done, you are emitting the swap event. And Flash, as I said, is something similar to your Flash loans concept. Collect protocol, if you have to collect anything that is remaining on your end, like the fees, etc. So that is over here. And then set fee protocol, you can set the fee for this particular protocol and for the liquidity position that you create. So this was an overview of the V3 pool contract. It is one of the most critical contracts, but also not that difficult to follow if you know the mathematics, of course, right? And even without the mathematics, I think it's very interesting to see what are the functionalities that are present in this pool contract. And if you want to create your own DEX, you may just want to modify some of the mathematics and then use the rest of the functions or functionality as it is.